FAO's strategy and strategic framework is the 4 better. So better production, better environment, better nutrition, and better life, leaving no one behind. So if we see under that framework was what China is doing, I think it's remarkable because we could see also the diversification efforts that have been made from rice-based systems to much more diversified systems, access to markets, including export markets, but also the diversity of foods that you have, whether it is the fresh food or it is the staples or it is the animal products or the seafood. So the efforts on all those fronts, the management of the environment, as we could see, for example, in the wetlands and how the waste, is managed, and the treatment and recycling of water is very important. Under the nutrition, I think that the link to the culinary traditions of China, where food is at the same time food, but it is also medicine at some point in time. And revisiting that space, I think, through innovation is also very interesting. And finally, I think that the better life, which is, that China has been able to make the right investment, maybe not enough. I think there are some 2 distinctive features there that I would like to highlight. The central role of the government has been not only providing, public investments, of course, infrastructure, of course, even contributions to those investments that are public and private investments, but it's also the governance of the institutions, whereby the government makes sure that the benefits would also accrue to the cooperatives and to the farmers. The price mechanisms are fair, the conflict resolutions and so on. And I think this is also an interesting thing to observe here. But I think, with the entrepreneurship of the rural people themselves, because many of those private people who are making really good life and driving the creation of jobs are actually local people who have been given the opportunity to grow, but they drive with the rest, and especially, getting people out of rural poverty. I think that there are, in the Chinese experience a lot it has a lot to offer. I think especially in the integration of those models, in understanding, what makes them successful. Maybe not the models as such, but the modalities or the elements. So each country can combine them in different ways, which is, market access, productivity, institutions and fairness, infrastructure, access to finance. You combine those in different ways. The Chinese have been, people and governments have been able to combine them in their own way, okay? Other countries might combine them in different ways, but I think the ingredients are there, and this is a successful experience, and I think it's an inspiration, I would say, more than replication for others. China is very active in South-South cooperation and triangular cooperation, also with FAO. So we have a very large and strong program historically with China in FAO that promotes South-South cooperation, and I think that is the channel or the platform for us to work as FAO with our DG, Dr. Chu Dongyu, who is very keen on actually getting the countries to learn from each other and getting the experiences to be shared, and that is really where FAO I think is quite effective in putting the countries together to learn. And it's not only the experience, but it's not only about government to government. It's about institution to institution, university to university, private sector to private sector, bank to bank, and so on. So you can multiply those connections and those linkages for the benefits of all.